the other central figure on the other team, the central figure of these whole finals, Steph Curry. You did say he had a virtuoso in Game 4. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure I can go all the way to virtuoso because I tried to remind you, nobody wants to hear this, that Klay Thompson had scored 8 points in the fourth quarter before Steph finally broke through with about 3.5 minutes left and made his first three of any fourth quarter in the finals. That was his first fourth quarter three of the finals. I give you third quarter Steph because he's off the charts. He's all-time. And he had, what was that?
15,
the 15-point night, and he had a 14 13,
yeah.
Okay. I got all that. But the clock has started to tick on Steph Curry. And don't think he doesn't know it because we're talking high basketball IQ and also LeBron-esque command of NBA history. He knows exactly what he's up against right now because he's coming off 0 for 9 from 3.
Yes.
Do not discount that. That demon is lurking in the back of his mind. 0 for 9. And again, Draymond says he's going to be livid going into the next game. Well, okay, but this is high stakes now. This is Game 6 in Boston to save yourself from having to go home and face a Game 7. And in your dynastic run, you have not had to win a Game 7 to win a championship.
Right.
And when we did see Steph in a Game 7 in 2016, it was a flat-out nightmare against LeBron and company trying to stave off them coming back from 3-1 down. Steph went 6 of 19 in Game 7. He went 4 of 14 from 3, and when we got to that fateful fourth quarter with that game teeter-tottering back and forth, Steph went 1 of 6 from the floor and 1 of 5 from 3. And he did make a 3. Can we see this real quick just to remind everybody what happened down the stretch of Game 7? Because don't think this demon isn't lurking in the back of Steph's mind, because he made a 3 fairly early. It was about 6:57 left to tie the game. And then here we go. And he starts out, and there's a 3 to take a lead. No. Then there's a 3 to take another lead. The game is tied, and that hit nothing but backboard. And then here we go again, and this is a 3 to tie, and it's wild left. And he ends up missing 4 threes down the stretch. Does not score another point, and we didn't even include in that little salvo you just saw, remember the fateful turnover.
We're behind the back.
Yeah, it was 5:16 left. They were up a point, and he goes behind the back into the third row. Okay, it was Jason Tatum all over again. If you're that guy, you can't do that because it should have been his time in his house to take over the game.
Right.
And he did not. And finally, Kyrie ends it by when nobody could make a shot. Kyrie said, okay, I'll make a shot.
Right.
LeBron had the chase down, had a little help from JR. But again, Cleveland almost benefited from no Steph down the stretch. And obviously, they're focusing on him. And again, everybody tries to double him. But if you're that guy, if you're top 10 all time, you got to figure out how to score 1 point, 2 points down the stretch.
But I believe Steph is different now. Skip, when they overplay the 3 now, you'll see he'll drive the ball.
Okay.
If you're in that montage that you just showed, he only drove the ball one time. Other than that, he was. So now you see him now when they close out.
Yep.
He got a layup package for you.
Okay. Here's why the pressure is mounting on Steph. What just happened right before our very eyes? Well, Boston said, Steph, you can't have this tonight. We're going to take this away.
Oh, they face guarded it.
We're going to be all over you tonight at your little 6'2" self.
Yeah.
And we're going to make it so hard on you that maybe you'll get frustrated. And did he ever? And he started trying harder and harder and shooting it deeper and deeper. And 0 for 9 did not equal win for Boston. So I'm pretty sure the Celtics are going to revisit and say, you know what? Let's let him have some shots tonight. Let's make sure. No, let's make sure that Wiggins doesn't go off on us. Let's make sure there's no Game 6 Clay. Let's just make sure that little Jordan Poole doesn't come in and light us up. let's play it a little more straight up. I will bet you that's how they'll do it because they're a proud defensive team, and 0 for 9 got them nowhere the other night. They lost by 10.
That's because your stars did not play well. It wasn't that Wiggins and Poole and those other guys beat you. Your guys didn't show up. Even though their superstar didn't show up, your guys didn't show up. It's kind of like, Skip, if I play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and I held Tom Brady, I picked Tom Brady twice, and he throws for 185 yards, and we still lose, what? That means somebody, especially if I'm Mahomes or I'm Herbert or I'm Joe Burrow, that means somebody on the other side didn't do their job because ain't no way my defense plays this good, hold Tom Brady to those numbers, and we lose the game.
Okay. You could be right, but I got a gut feeling, knowing Ime Udoka the way I've known him as a Spurs assistant, there's a lot of pride in there. There's tough pride. There's gritty pride to the point that he just might say, you know what, tonight let's play it a little more straight up, and if he makes them, he makes them. And if he goes off in the third quarter, fine. But we're not going to let we're not going to let Clay go off in the fourth quarter and just wipe us out.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, switch it up. Either I would start Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum on Steph, and I would put Marcus Smart because I want somebody a little bigger, somebody that can challenge him a little bit more, get up into him a little bit more. I would switch. I would do something different because we've given him a steady diet, and they face guarded him last time, Skip. And I get it. That's old high school basketball. Steph didn't have the ball. He damn near half court. And they're playing 4-on-4 basketball. But you got to switch something up. You see the chess move that Steve Kerr made? He inserted Otto Porter into the starting lineup. Now, he doesn't play heavy minutes in the first quarter because they go to Loon fairly quickly. But it was just a change of something, give you something else to think about. Because now you got another shooter. Otto Porter can, he can make the three, Skip. He gives you an opportunity to space the floor a little more.
All right, but tomorrow night, in the end, to me, is about Steph Curry. I think he will get some better looks than he got in the last game at home. And yet, I think in the back of his mind, he knows he's got to make those open looks, these semi-open looks.
Yeah.
Or he faces Game 7 back home. You're looking at it as, I got this in my back pocket. I'm looking at it as, I got this in the back of my mind, where it's eating at me that we haven't been great in those kind of games at home, and we don't want to face that. I think we're going to talk about Steve Kerr telling we're in the locker room after the game the other night. He said, we're going to finish this in Boston.
Yes.
I think they want to finish it in Boston because they don't want to get finished at home in Game 7. So the clock ticks, the pressure mounts on Golden State to go take care of business at Boston. They've got the momentum. Just go drive it home and finish it off and take it home. And that pressure falls the most on the slender shoulders of one Stephen Curry.
Well, Steph has built up so much good credit, Skip, because he has already the finals on his resume. He already has the MVP. He doesn't have a finals MVP, and he has the Game 7. What good credit has Jason Tatum built up?
Well, you got it. But Steph's been at this a long time without a finals MVP. And the final point I'm going to make, there's still that 7-foot monster looming over these finals.
Right.
And he's sitting at home tweeting his tail off, and that's Kevin Durant.
Right.
But he looms over because he went and saved them, and they won back-to-backs, and he was the MVP of the two finals, and now he's not there. So can you do it without him?
All things being true, Skip, this would be worse for Kevin Durant than the Boston Celtics.
How?
Because Steph Curry, because they won without him.
Yeah, well, okay.
They would have.
Got to do it.
They would have bookend.
Yes.
They had the 3 years with KD. They went to two finals without KD, won one, and he hadn't gotten out only the first round one time. Man.
Okay. Here we go.
It changed the way people look at Steph.
Maybe there are 3 legacies on the line.
you might be right.
Yep.
Great start to the morning, gentlemen. We will see who responds to the pressure under the bright spotlight tomorrow night.
JT.
All right, here are a few questions for you. Should the Panthers make a move for Baker Mayfield as soon as today? No. Plus, Skip, get ready. Have the Cowboys figured out how to unlock Dak Prescott?